Hi friend, welcome to my channel Smart Pantry. Today we are unlocking the secret behind one of the world's most beloved dish, chicken biryani. In this video, you will see how to make biryani spice mix at home, how to marinate chicken, how to fry onion and prepare the garnish, and I will show you how to layer and seal correctly, and final dum techniques for perfect results. There are so many biryani mixtures available in the market, but believe me, nothing tastes like a freshly ground homemade blend. Store bought mixtures lose their aroma and they just don't deliver that true authentic biryani flavors. Today I will show you how to make real biryani masala that brings your dish to life. So grab your spice, get your grinder ready, and I will create a magic in the kitchen. You can easily prepare your biryani spice mix ahead of time and store in a clean dry bottle in your pantry. Today I am using a variety of spices, each coming from different parts of the plants and each bringing its own unique aroma and flavor. In this spice mix, we use everything nature gives us: flowers, bark, seeds, and leaves. Together, they create a rich, authentic taste. It makes biryani truly special. The hero of this blend are coriander seeds and cumin seeds. You absolutely cannot skip these two. The perfect ratio is simple: 2 parts of coriander seeds to 1 part of cumin seeds. The rest of the spices are simple. A small amount of fennel seeds, do not add too much. 1 teaspoon is more than enough. We also add black pepper, and this is kasturi methi, which is dried fenugreek leaves. You can easily find this in any Indian store. If you have it, definitely add it. It gives a beautiful aroma. But if you can't find it, no problem, you can skip it. Now I am going to roast this spice mix on low heat. Don't over roast it. Just keep the heat gentle and stir constantly. Just give a heat until the spice release their aroma and natural oils. Now I am taking the spice off the heat and letting them cool completely. Now we are heading into the next step: fried onion. This is something you can easily make ahead of time as your spice mix. Today I am using 4 medium onions sliced nice and thin. Fry the onion until they are golden brown. Now I am going to grind my spice mix. I am using a coffee grinder today, but you can use any grinder or blender you have at home. Make sure you don't overgrind this. A little graininess is perfect, not a fine powder. Now we are at the most delicious part: marinating the chicken. This is the hero of the whole process. All the rich biryani flavors depend on this step. Here I am using whole chicken pieces along with a few thigh fillets on the bone. Avoid using chicken breast for biryani. Always choose chicken with bone for the best flavor. Now we are adding all the beautiful flavors to the chicken. Add 2 heaping tablespoons of spice mix. Then I am adding my paprika powder, nearly a tablespoon of it, to give a smoky flavor and color. And my ginger garlic paste. Make sure to save the paste for later. Next, I am adding 1 teaspoon of turmeric powder along with salt to taste. Now I am adding my fresh herbs, coriander leaves and mint leaves. These two herbs gives amazing depth and freshness to the dish. So I would say they are a must. Keep half of these leaves aside for later use. My coriander leaves were in the freezer, so please ignore their appearance. The flavor is still perfectly good. I have chopped 2 large tomatoes, add half of them at this stage. Another main ingredient in this marinade is natural yogurt. I am using 1.5 cup of yogurt here. Now use your hands to give the chicken a really good massage. This helps the flavors go deep into the meat. Oh, I almost forget the fried onions. This is the perfect time to add half of them into the chicken mixture. Mix everything together again. Now it's time to cook the chicken. Use a big pan. You can finish the entire cooking process in this one pan. I am using ghee to cook the chicken. If you have ghee, definitely use it for the best flavors. If not, any cooking oil will work. I'm also adding a spoonful of oil from the fried onion. This gives an amazing aroma and depth to the curry. Next, I am adding chopped ginger garlic and 1 medium onion finely chopped and fry it little bit until the onion becomes soft. Next, I am adding chopped tomatoes. Now I am adding marinated chicken into this pan. Don't add any water. The chicken will cook beautifully in the yogurt and its own juices. Don't waste any of the flavors in the bowl. So I just rinse it and add into the chicken. I forgot to tell you, if you can marinate your chicken night before and keep it in the fridge, it will really help the flavor soak deep into the chicken. Now cover with the lid and cook on medium heat. Make sure to check and stir occasionally. This stop the spices from sticking to the bottom and burning. Now you can see that all the water has evaporated and only the oil from the yogurt is left. This means it's time to turn off the heat. Chicken is perfectly cooked and tender. Next, we are going to cook the rice correctly. For biryani, I am using basmati rice. It's the best choice for this dish. I have taken 3.5 cup of rice and soaked it for 1 hour. Now I have drained the water and added the rice into a pot. To flavor the rice, I am adding some aromatic whole spices, piece of cinnamon, cardamom pods, cloves, bay leaves, and cumin seeds. Now I'm going to pour the boiling water. We are going to cook the rice until it reaches about 75 to 80% cooked. Stir the rice occasionally so it cooks evenly. Take a grain between your fingers and check. It should be soft on the outside and still firm in the center. Once it reaches that stage, I am going to drain the water. Now it's time for the final step, assembling the biryani. My chicken pot isn't big enough to finish the dish, so I have transferred the chicken into a larger pot. I am adding the first layer of partially cooked rice on top of the chicken. On this layer, sprinkle some of the leftover fried onions along with the coriander and mint leaves we saved earlier. Now repeat these layers, rice, fried onions, and herbs until you used everything. Remember, do not press the rice down. Keep it light and fluffy. For the final touch, add a little more fried onion top and drizzle some ghee over the surface to give the biryani its beautiful aroma. Traditionally, saffron soaked in warm milk is sprinkled on the top of the rice to give that classic biryani color and aroma. But I don't have saffron today, but you can also use a little orange food color if you prefer. I am using turmeric instead. I have dissolved a small amount in water and I will drizzle that over the top. Now we have to seal the pot properly. I am using foil to cover the top of the pot and then placing the lid on tightly. Check if any steam is escaping. If it is, make sure to seal it well because the rice finishes cooking through the steam. Let the biryani cook on medium low heat for 12 to 15 minutes. Do not open the lid during this time. The steam needs to be stay inside to finish cooking the rice beautifully. Now take the pot off the heat and leave it covered for another 5 to 10 minutes. This resting time helps the flavors settle in the rice finished steaming. Meanwhile, you can prepare your garnish. Today I am using cashew and sultanas fried in ghee along with a little extra fried onion. And now, the moment we have been waiting for. Let's open the lid. Just look at the steam and color that aroma. The rice perfectly cooked. This is pure biryani heaven. Every grain of rice is fluffy, every bite packed with flavor. Serve it hot with raita or simple salad and chicken curry sauce. and enjoy the magic you just created in your kitchen. Don't forget to share it with your loved ones because biryani always tastes better when shared. Fresh coriander leaves is perfect for garnish, but I don't have any fresh coriander today. Enjoy the dish. Thanks for watching.